everybody. Hi, welcome to Tharp World. This is a show that we film live at a different location every week. I do my best to travel all over the world to try to find different spots where I can paint and get inspired. And today I've stumbled upon this beautiful, natural, gorgeous setting. This is Sedona, Arizona. And it's one of the reasons it's one of my favorite places in the world is because it has so many different psychic vortex centers. And if you've ever been there, the place is full of people that love crystals and UFOs. Basically my favorite kind of people. Desert folk, they are kind of new agey, they're strange, and then there's lots of tourists taking pictures. So I found a little spot by the side of the road where I think that it would be fun to do some art to get inspired by this gorgeous scenery. It's hot out here, so like I hope I can last. You know, I'm wearing black, a black sweater because it's part of my outfit, and fashion before function, as is usually my situation. So what I have today, on the show I do a painting or drawing or some printmaking every week. And I also have a live call-in number, so my guests and my viewers can call into the show live and cooperate with me and also collaborate with me, hopefully cooperate. Don't get crazy. And we just collaborate on a piece together. It's really fun. Also, I am a certified semi-professional psychic myself. I have a deck of tarot cards, and for the people that collaborate with me on my pieces, I will give you a 1-minute psychic tarot reading. So it's a little bit of everything. You get to watch a little painting, you get a psychic reading. We try to make you guys happy on Tharp World. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I feel really relaxed. This is the vortex of the Chapel of the Holy Cross. Behind me, which you can't see, is a chapel that's been carved into the rock. It's gorgeous. People are all around me. What you see here is a road that leads up to the chapel, so I've parked near the porta potty where I can use the bathroom if I need to, and also it's less likely to disturb like the people like hiking up the mountain. So I have a nice view and I'm not in anyone's way. So I'm just going to start painting because I'm really inspired. I'm feeling the energy here. It's very strange. I feel like all the vortex centers in Sedona have different qualities to them. So some of them will make you feel more expansive and renewed, and some of them will make you feel more energetic, some of them will make you feel a little sleepy, and this one in particular is making me feel a little bit lightheaded. That's nature for you. It's a gorgeous place. I recommend anybody to go and visit Sedona. I'm inspired by the cactus all around me. Arizona is a beautiful state. It's really hot, even in the springtime. And I'm sure some of you are really wondering why at 8 o'clock at night it's sunny and daytime here where I am, even though it's the same time zone. Well, that is just not for you to know. And just let it go. Let it be part of the mystery. We don't need to know everything. So I'm just going to what I'm going to do with this piece that I'm working on today is, it's 2 panels that I've already gessoed and put washes of kind of rose-colored acrylic paint. I've really loved the kind of rock formations that it's formed. It looks a little desert-like, and so I thought it would be a wonderful backdrop for and very inspiring for this setting. So I guess like there's cars around me. It's a little distracting with the people that keep like walking up. They're being really rude. Like this one, oh my God, there's this one guy that keeps coming up. I don't know where he is, but he like keeps taking the same picture over and over, like he can't get it right. He could probably hear me saying that. Like we're all trying to enjoy the scenery, and he has no boundaries, so he comes up really close to me. So if I get a little irritated at him, like forgive me, I don't like when people get up close to me like that. So I may like yell at him, but it's not about you guys. I just get a little impatient when people do that. Get up in my space like that. It's not polite. But tourists, they have no shame. They have no shame. If they want that shot, they want the shot of the vortex center. Sir, seriously, sir, like really, like you can get the same shot from like right here. Like you can just have it here, or stand here and do it. And he has no respect for the arts. He has no respect for the lovely natural setting. I mean, maybe he needs to use the bathroom, but the porta potty is close by, so that's fine. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous sight. And I love cactus. They're so amazing and strange, these things. I wish we had more cactus here. But my piece is going to be just really kind of, it's very free form today. I have no real plan for what I'm going to paint. I'm just letting the energies of the vortex wash over me, and I'm getting this sense that like I'm kind of floating right now. I feel weird. I wonder, like, I had to think if I took anything, but I forgot about, but I didn't. I'm totally like lucid. I had too much coffee, but I'm lucid, and there's nothing in my system to make me feel like this. It's just the energy of the land, okay? The land and its goodness and its richness. So the stuff I'm making today is going to be, this looks kind of like a nature spirit. But I'm really just letting the energies of the land kind of move my hands. I don't even really know what I'm going to do. Oh! And then I just will get an inspiration to kind of paint as it goes. Just, I'm seeing like a, and if you guys are, you know, the great thing about the vortexes is that even when you're watching someone at the vortex, you can still feel the energy. So maybe some of you at home are feeling a little bit strange. It's the spiritual energy. Don't be upset. I don't have my healing crystals with me today, but I do have my tarot cards if you're feeling especially inspired. These are strange days, you guys. Real strange days. So if you have any questions or concerns, I can probably help. I'm a semi-professional psychic. I can't tell you, you know, what lottery numbers are gonna like. I can't tell you kind of I actually can't tell you like who's gonna be president next. But I might be able to help you with some of your relationship issues, or if you have a work question or something like that. I mean, I will do my best. And it's fun. Don't forget the fun part. You can call in. There's a number on the screen. This is a real mellow, super relaxed kind of setting. Aside from the people that keep walking in this area, this is a designated art area. Can't you see that there's an artist at work? They have no respect at all. It's almost like there's something more important going on, like in nature, and they won't even respect the artist at work and the beautiful creations. They're just walking all over. They're walking all over the creativity. That's fine. It's typical Taurus. And there's that guy that keeps coming up. It's almost like he can't get the right picture. He just keeps like, maybe he's just so inspired by the sheer beauty that he just keeps needing to take the picture over and over. Who knows? Oh, this is good though. See, I'm really enjoying painting something that I'm not really looking at, but just that I'm sort of inspired by. Let's see. And I'm going to use a little bit more dark here, almost like a shadow. And I'm moving this sort of in the direction that I want the corners to have something interesting, because I'm going to be switching the angle of this piece. Is that guy back? Is he back? Is he retreated back to his car? It's like he goes to just like eat a couple more chicken McNuggets, and then he comes back and bothers me. Excuse me. Yes, I can see that you're very excited about what you're. Yes, sir. Boundaries. Go back and enjoy your Burger King. Just walk back to your car. My God. It's just like crazy. He just must be from like another state where that's okay. But we don't like people coming up close to us here in California. We don't like being. We also don't like a lot of pressure. We're very delicate people. We're like a little delicate flower. And then so I'm just going to move this cactus a little bit. This actually doesn't look too cactus-like. And now it's taking on more of a tree, like kind of like maybe a tree of some sort. And the land is just sort of evolving this. Piece here. And there's cars going by, but at the same time, we need to stay hydrated in the desert. It is hot, and it's hot, and I'm getting a little bit like irritated with the cars, but I'm just gonna pull through. I'm just gonna make this work. I mean, maybe I should have parked this little setup a little further up the mountain instead of like near the porta potties and where people are like turning around, like the parking lot area, but it seemed like, I don't know, it seemed like a good idea at the time. Excuse me. Don't get dehydrated in the desert, first of all. That would be the worst idea ever. Whew, oh my God. It's just like hot out here. The paint's drying fast, everything's drying fast. My hair, how's my hair? My hair's looking okay. Just gotta rehydrate. This weather is just making my hair so flat. God, the desert is such a harsh environment. But I love feedback and I love callers. So if you have anything that you want to add to this piece, or maybe you're just watching, you're just mesmerized by the sheer beauty of this gorgeous setting, that's fine too. But I love to hear from callers. It's very casual, it's very low pressure. All you have to do is pick up that phone and just have a question or a desire, and then have some ideas. I'll paint pretty much anything you want. And then you can have the joy of collaborating on a piece of artwork that will always be loved and cherished by someone in their living room, perhaps on their mantle. I know you're like, what are you doing, Tharp? What is going on with this piece? What is happening? What is that? I don't even know. When you're in the desert, in these vortex centers, you just let the energy of the earth take you over, and it almost works through you. It's very strange and oftentimes upsetting if you're not ready to receive it, which I don't know if I am or not. I just like going with it. I'm going to try to go with it. I'm going to try to go with it and try to enjoy it. Since I'm here and I can't help it, if you're there, the energy is going to take you over. So be ready. If you visit that place, you may feel a little strange. Some people have burst into tears out here in the parking lot. I do not imagine I'll do that, but I have seen it. I've seen people crying. I've seen people, just nearly fainting. The energy centers can really affect you in different people in different ways. And there are a bunch of them in Sedona. If you guys have ever visited there, you can get a little booklet and a little brochure, and you can travel all around town and find the different vortex centers. I highly recommend it. And if you are able to get a psychic reading there, those psychics are like the real deal. They will tell you stuff that you didn't even know that you needed to know. That's how good they are. Do not underestimate them. They will blow your mind. And so it is. And so I'm painting just really enjoying the scenery and the sweet energy. Oh boy. It's fortunate that there are no gunshots here in Sedona, ever. And what you just heard was a car backfire. Because we're not actually filming in Oakland, we're filming in Sedona. So if you had any questions or you had any doubts, just take, you know, I wouldn't steer you wrong, you guys. Wouldn't lie to you. I would tell it to you straight. This is definitely Sedona right now. So these little guys have these kind of funny little shoes here. It's a very quiet day over the phone. It's a quiet day. Not a lot of callers. It's a real mellow. God, these cactuses are cool. If you go out there to Arizona, like each cactus has its own personality. And some of them are so funny. It's like some of them are hugging each other, and some of them are kind of like rotten on the bottom and then like flourishing on the top. It's like, what is happening with these cacti? They're the weirdest plants ever. And since we don't have a lot of them in this part of California, for, you know, Bay Area person to go out there and visit, it's pretty cool. Like, we're like little kids. Like, everything looks cool to us out there. The landscape, everything's neat. So I'm trying to play with some of the negative space here. Oops. Sorry, desert. Dropped a little paint on you. I dropped a little paint on the sacred land. Hopefully that will be okay. So now I think this looks. So that's a kind of a good place to start with this. I'm gonna flip these panels around and continue from a different angle. And I love doing this in my work, working with multiple panels and then switching them around and working some more. So anyone that owned this piece could turn it in any different direction and have a different thing to look at all the time. So you get a lot for your money. You know, it is you put it in a different room, you can redecorate. So I'm just going to go ahead and move this one. And I think I'll probably put it vertical. Turn this one over. I know these people aren't taking a picture of my art, but I'm just going to pretend that they are, as the gentleman proceeds past me. So here we go. So I'm going to turn it this way, this way. I'm going to go ahead and turn it like this. And start over from here and see what we get. The funny thing is that this thing lines up perfectly with that, and it wasn't on purpose. That's really cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue to put this here, bringing this like kind of leg thing behind the cactus. So this is sort of evolving, sort of like the bad drawing book I used to do in the early episodes of Tharp World, where I take a sketchbook, one sketchbook that was designated just to bad drawings, to kind of shake off perfectionism. You just draw the ugliest possible things that you can without censoring it, and then just flip the page and do another one, and then you're working really quickly so that you get all of the negativity and like the voices that say this isn't good enough, this isn't good, this isn't good art. It's all on the page, and it's just for that book. It's really helpful exercise, and so it helps the work to kind of flow through a little bit better. And then with pieces like this that are more spontaneous, you don't really care if it's good or bad, because it all actually ends up being art anyway. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, Because if you put it in a nice frame, it's all art, so. So this really has kind of a bad drawing book quality to it, but I'm ending up really liking it. Just that kind of randomness where you can't really go wrong with whatever you draw. Like anything that you draw is fine. You really can't mess it up, anything goes. And then you just kind of work with what's on the paper. The problem is getting something on the paper to begin with, because once it's there, if you work with it long enough, you'll get something cool out of it. Even if you tear it up and make it into something else. The tough part is just starting. So kind of connecting these guys. I'm going to move over here and move these, put something on this side to work with. And we're leaving it pretty open-ended so that we can move it again. And hopefully throughout the time that I'm here, as long as the people aren't like getting in my way too much and bothering me and making me uncomfortable, we'll finish this piece in an hour, but they are just very distracting. I mean, filming on location is one thing. The early episodes were all filmed at the compound gallery. That was so easy, no distractions, just lights, and it was simple. But we really wanted to bring you something more exciting, and I'm really glad we did, but it's a little stressful for me. I'm not used to being around the public and near a porta potty with the tourists. Actually, this is very new for me. It's very new, so it's a first for both of us. Oh, weird. You know what people like in Sedona? UFOs. They see a lot of UFOs in Sedona because of the vortex centers. The vortex centers attract more UFOs than any other centers on the planet. This is a fact. This is a fact. They come to Sedona because the people there are especially receptive to their way of communicating telepathically. So the UFOs and the people, you know, the people of other planets can communicate and tell us exactly why our planet is dying and that we need to be in their UFO, going to their planet and getting implants, different kinds of tracking devices put in us so that they can track us. There's a reason behind it, and they'll let you know. I mean, they'll tell you what it is. I'm not totally sure because I've never actually been abducted, but know a lot of people that have. So I've heard that being abducted is, you can kind of sort of liken it to a drunken blackout. What happens is you wake up in a place you don't know. It's usually your bed, but you don't know how you got there. You are missing articles of clothing, usually your pants and sometimes a shoe. You have bruises on your body, you don't know where they came from. These are all just things that I've heard from people that have been abducted. And you have like no memory at all of what happened. You remember like walking to the bar, and then you don't remember what else, but then you woke up in bed, and there's like something in your neck that's like pokey, like someone put something in there maybe. Or you got a piercing or a tattoo and you don't remember about it. Maybe, who knows, you got one of those like little things, the little diamonds implanted in the skin. So that's what being abducted is like. So how would one know if one wasn't just drunk and made it to, you know, their bed somehow, you know, through the kindness of strangers, maybe dropping them off or calling a taxi, or one was actually abducted? I don't know. Isn't that the question? Isn't that the question that we all want to know? But the extraterrestrials are apparently kind as long as they're not the Greys. The Greys are not kind. The Greys want to take over the planet. The greenish ones are better. They're nicer. They're like more, I think they're more nurturing. And they're a bit more They're nicer when they put the implant. They don't leave as much bruising, I guess. They're just a little bit more gentle. They have a nicer bedside manner, from what I've heard. But you know, you go to Sedona and you hear all kinds of these really intense tales of abduction and encounters that you don't hear as much here. So that's really fun. Ask a local about their experience. And they will totally share that with you, I'm sure. So the grays, you want to avoid them. If you see them, you know, if you're at night and you like see, when you're driving in the mountains and you see them, don't pull over the car, just like keep driving, like don't get in the UFO. I'll just do a little painting of what the grays look like just so you can avoid them if you see them. They have the really big eyes. They kind of look like, you know, in the 90s when you go like to the head shop and buy a bong. It looks like those aliens, except they're gray and not green. They have like these kind of heads, these kind of teardrop shaped heads. Don't get in the UFO. Don't do it. Just read a book about it if you're curious. Just don't get in. There are more, yeah, you can really see a lot of the results of the abductions on the locals, because during, you know, different times of the year, they have craft festivals that celebrate the UFO, and a lot of crystals are available. Crystals also attract. It's so funny because the crystals will attract the UFOs as well as dream catchers, turquoise jewelry, and you know, light linens. If you wear a lot of white linen, the UFOs tend to gravitate towards you. Doing a lot of yoga and eating very raw. Oh, excuse me for just a second. My phone is ringing. Oh, hello, you're on Tharp World. This is Allison. Who's this? Hi, Jason. Thanks for calling. Hi, so are you enjoying this new location in Sedona? Hold on, let me put you on speaker. Uh-oh. Let's see if my speaker's working. Hello? Oh, you know what? I have to turn it up. There we go. Hi. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for bearing with me. And I was very distracted with the vortex energy. And anyway, thank you so much for calling. Thanks for calling. Have you been watching the show?
I just turned it on, yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. And so how do you feel so far about the piece that we're working on?
Looks okay. The thing I'm wondering about is, you know, a lot of the aliens.
Yes.
I think are coming from the Earth, coming from the inner Earth.
Oh,
they're not actually extraterrestrials. They're not actually extraterrestrials. They're just terrestrial, under-terrestrials.
Oh, from the inside.
From the inner Earth, yeah. From the inside of the Earth.
Oh, that is a theory that I have not heard, Jason. I have not heard that one. So they come from within the Earth. That is fascinating.
Yeah, there's this other sun, there's an inner sun and the inner Earth inside of the Earth.
Oh my God. My mind is my mind is being like tossed around like in a washing machine right now because I've never actually considered that possibility. So there's like an Earth within the Earth where the aliens are coming from. It's in the Earth.
There's an inner sun, you know, the inner.
This is, oh my God. This is really interesting. I have to adjust my microphone because I'm going to have to try to illustrate this before I forget it, because this is the kind of gold that I'm always hoping that someone calls me with, so that I can try to put this in my work, because I have no idea. I mean, I had no idea that was happening. I just didn't. I mean, I was going to Starbucks and like getting a latte and just paying my bills, and I had no idea that there was an Earth within the Earth, and there's a sun there too, and the aliens come from underneath the ground.
Right. I mean, it makes more sense because, you know, the space is so big. You know, I mean, it's really hard to get over here. If they were already here, you know.
If they were already here, it would make more sense. Well, how do you explain the UFOs? Like, why do they travel around in the sky instead of just like walking around on the ground?
I mean, they can still have UFOs. It's just they're coming through. There's this like opening in the inner Earth, like in the North Pole, that's come through.
I like that. I like that. Do you think maybe Sedona is one of those places where they actually like it's like an escalator up to the surface, and that's why so many people see so many UFOs, because it's like one of their malls. Like it's like a mall, and they're just like shopping for crystals, and they're just like, I gotta drop by the crystal shop, so I'm just gonna like head up there to the surface and kick it for a little bit.
Yeah, it's totally possible.
Yeah.
You hear of all these openings and all these weird things happening in certain parts of the Earth. Maybe those are openings to the inner Earth.
This is, I mean, I get some of the best calls. I'm so lucky, like that people actually not only see the show, but call in with this kind of information. This is like why I do what I do. This, like, you guys are a trip. That is crazy. So I'm gonna just try to draw this. I'm just gonna illustrate the sun. And I'm imagining that the sun is probably, like, since it's underneath the ground, it's like a black kind of vortex shape. It's a mass.
Think about it just like kind of, you know, like I don't know, like a donut maybe. Yeah, so a donut, there's this space in the middle, but it's huge. You have to think about how big the Earth is.
Yes,
there's so much space inside. You know, there's so much space inside.
That is so true. It's so true. There's almost like more space inside than on the outside, really, because we're just on the surface. And so really, the Earth is more spacious on the inside, which would make perfect sense that there's a civilization or multiple civilizations, including a universe, happening within. And so this is the donut sun right here. If you can see what I'm painting.
I think they call it the terminal sun, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they call it.
And the Earth that they live on, kind of shaped more like a teardrop, so that the lava and all the stuff that we think is the center of the Earth can kind of move around it. It's kind of lemon shaped, not completely spherical. This is. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be, because it's certainly something that we'll never get to know in our lifetime. But perhaps in the next life we will, because in the next lifetime, you know, we'll have evolved at such a point that the extraterrestrials will be working with us more closely, or we might have been, you know, a few of us, like the more evolved of us will have passed into the next dimension, but those of us who haven't evolved spiritually will probably just perish. Maybe.
No, it's true. You know, those two cultures could come together at some point. There could be a bridge.
There could be a bridge.
You know, a bridge of friendship.
I like that. A bridge of friendship from the inner Earth to the outer Earth. I am going to put that in my work. I'm going to illustrate that as like the very first time it's maybe ever been illustrated, where there's like two hearts. And there's like...
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stories about, you know, the inner Earth, that's where all the dinosaurs come from. You know, there's, you know, once in a while you hear about some fairies, but maybe they're just coming from the inner Earth.
Dude.
Living out there, and then they go back to the inner Earth.
This is amazing. So there's not only dinosaurs there, but also fairies. Like, are you sure you're not from Sedona? Because you're speaking like a local. Like you should just move there, because I think you could enlighten a lot of people. Or you could just, you would just be with them.
It could be all the same thing. You know, aliens could be, you know, fairies or angels, you know, from the past, or just people that hang out in the inner Earth.
This is really good stuff.
Yeah.
It's like you're just like putting so much out there in terms of inspiring things that I can't even paint it fast enough. I love the idea that there's dinosaurs in there, and that the dinosaurs, the fairies, and the angels could possibly be the same creatures.
Sure, why not?
I love that. Why not? Why not, indeed? And you know what? This is just been one of the best calls yet. One of the best calls. And are you interested, Jason, in receiving a psychic reading tonight?
Yes, sure.
That's great. So I'm going to give you one. And what you have to do, just think of a question or a situation that you want a little bit more clarity on. These readings are quick, so they're going to be about a minute long. And so you've got to be really concise in kind of what you want information on. I'm going to draw 3 tarot cards and just tell you what the cards are. And if I don't give you enough information in the minute that I have to read them, because my producers are very strict, they cut me off after a minute. They're like, no more, because otherwise the tarot readings just take over the show. Like, no more of that. You can go online and look at the card and look at like a deeper meaning of the card that you got if you want to like see more about it. So let's see. So are you thinking of your question?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I'm going to shuffle the cards for you and I'm going to draw them and then we'll start the timer as soon as I've drawn the cards. Here we go. Man, there's just so much information in this call, I can't even keep up. Like, this is the best part of Tharp World, is the callers. So as a reward, everyone that collaborates gets a psychic reading if they want one. And these are really great for just clarifying and kind of getting the next right step in your question or in your situation. They can't solve all your problems, but they can give you a different perspective or a little bit of a boost or some inspiration. They're really helpful for that. Okay, so thinking of Jason's question. Okay, so we'll draw 3 cards for him. And the right cards always come out. It's just the way it is with the tarot. Okay, so I've got my cards. And I'm gonna, when I flip them over, we'll start the timer. And start. Okay, Jason, so what I'm seeing is the 3 of discs, which implies that you are going to be receiving some kind of you're going to be either asking or receiving some kind of help, like a favor. You may have to be able to ask for some help, but help is available with this current situation. I see a lot of conflict. You got the Chariot card, which is inner conflict. You've got that it's kind of like an ego battle. It's like there's 2 different directions you could go, and it's really basically split right down the middle. It's a true feeling of being split right down the middle of 2 different situations you could do. I'm seeing the 2 of Swords, which is another duality card, where it's almost like a lose-lose situation that you're in, that you're gonna have to like do something different because there's a dead end. I'm seeing like a situation where there's like, you've tried basically everything you can do, and the only real way to do it is to make kind of a drastic change. But I'm seeing a lot of conflict here, so I would definitely look at the 2 of Swords. Like, find it on the I have to stop because I'm saying it. But find these cards online because they're deep cards, and I think that you can get a lot out of them. I see a lot of conflict. Oh my gosh, they're making me stop. They're making me stop. So I mean, the producers are putting the timer on, putting on pressure. So good luck to you, and thank you so much for calling. Okay, bye. Oh my gosh. These were heavy cards too. I don't even know how I was going to do it in a minute. But yeah, there's so much conflict. It's a split. Oh my gosh, a tough situation right there. But no situation is hopeless, ever. So that was an amazing caller. What intense ideas he had. He would fit in great in Sedona. So that's the kind of stuff that we love. We love callers calling in with their ideas, their theories on just inner earth, fairies, angels. I mean, this show is really, oh my gosh, there's so much. There's just so much. There's so much in Sedona. I wish these people would stop and watch the creative process, because they would really, this is the earth. Shaped like a dinosaur. Shaped like fairies and angels. I mean, who would have ever guessed that the T-Rex came from the center of the earth and actually goes back there? I mean, that was just really blowing my mind. What an awesome caller. That's one of the best ones yet in terms of collaborations. All of our callers are great, but man, I'm still, like, my mind is still like reeling over that one. The possibilities there. So everything changed. That just turned my world upside down. So we're gonna just go ahead and, man. If I had like 30 minutes to do a psychic reading, I mean, I could take up the entire show doing a reading. And that's why we time it. It's only a minute. Oh my gosh, I wish I could go longer, but my producers are tough. They're like, no, absolutely not. They have a timer and they make me stop. They make me stop and I have to do what they tell me. They get the final say. Okay, so we're gonna change it around. Here we go, we're moving it around. We're moving it. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. Okay. Yes. So now it takes on an entirely different meaning. This is really strange. Now what are we gonna do? Wow. What am I gonna do with this? This is getting strange. Okay, so let's bring this shape. So whoever gets this painting can just really enjoy the constant variety that it'll provide in the home or the office. Great conversation piece for anyone's home. You can explain your theories on life and death and angels and fairies. You can share your stories of alien abduction because we've all experienced something either similar to that or that. Oh, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, hey, out, out, out. Go, 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 go. Yes, yes, hello, yes, it's very beautiful. It's beautiful. Yes, we all know it's beautiful. Yes, it's beautiful. The surroundings are lovely. Go back to your car. Go eat your chicken McNuggets. Leave me to my work. No respect. No respect. No respect for the arts. Yes, hello, hello, hello. Move your car. I know you can't park here. You can't park here. You have to go to the parking lot. You have to go to the, excuse me, okay. I'm just gonna ignore him. I think he wants attention, and the worst thing I can do is like give it to him. So I'm just gonna ignore him like a little kid, and hopefully he'll just like walk away. I think he's doing it to annoy me after we had a little conversation before the show started, and I think he's just like trying to get back at me. It's hard to do this work, you know. It's really hard to want to be the queen of everything and have my way all the time. But now this is great because the piece is a kind of, it's kind of all fitting together in this great way. Man, you guys, if you really want to have some fun, you should get on a podcast about people, like with stories of people that have been abducted by aliens. It's like lots of fun. I mean, they tell these crazy stories. It's like never ending with the strangeness. It's really fun. And there's a bunch of them out there because apparently it happens a lot. So check those out if you know, you got a little bit of time to kill, you got a slow day at work, or maybe you're on a lunch break. You just want to have a little bit of fun. There's so much to learn that we just don't know about. And so if we don't know about it, we just make something up. That's the best thing about being a human. It's like we just make things up that we don't know. Dogs and cats don't care about alien abduction. They should, but they don't. In the earth, where the angels and dinosaurs live. Man, this is great. If I could stand back in this. Look at this for a second. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. I'm going to add a little bit more black. I'm seeing that I want to add a little bit more contrast. And maybe just something a little bit different of a texture. So I'm going to put a little bit darker. I'm going to put a nice bit of dark paint here and get a little strange with the lines, because I'm feeling a little bit, I want to add a little bit more, like a desert wind, something a little strange and abstract to it. The energy of the vortex is really affecting me. I feel a little weird. Oh, I feel a little crazy out here because it's hot and it's dry and it's just intense, man. I feel like I could see one of those aliens at any time. I think the energies out here make me feel like a little bit more receptive to the alien energies, and also that I may encounter them the longer that I hang out here. Okay. So it's almost like we have lines forming here. And like the lines are really connecting us to the higher realms, which is, I think, on the level that the angels and the fairies really operate, and also the gnomes. And I'm loving the bridge of friendship between the underworld, Earth, and our world, that it can be friendly. I didn't imagine it possible that you can actually make friends with the folk that live under the planet and on the lemon sun, or on the lemon earth with the donut sun. If you just tuned in, you're probably like, what is happening here and what is the show about? You know, sometimes I don't even know. It's just entertainment. It's a good, clean Wednesday night piece of entertainment. Good for the whole family. Well, actually, probably not the kids. I don't know if you want to expose the children to everything on here, but for most of the adults, I think it's fine. And the kids too. It's good for them. You know, see the arts. And so to watch the art, and I recommend that everybody go and do some too. Do a little bit every day. It's good for you. Do a little every day. I wonder if we have anybody watching on the internet, just not calling in, but maybe just viewing. And there's some people watching and viewing and relaxing at home, and maybe they really have a burning question that's just kind of like sitting somewhere in the body. It's good to identify where the question is in the body and just sit with that and let it have a shape and a color. So sit with your question, let it have a shape and a color, and then let your hand reach for your phone like this. And then it's so easy to like turn the phone on, put in your passcode, and just call the number on the screen. And when you do, I'll pick it up as a gentle spirit as I am, and we will have a conversation that will basically change your life forever. It's okay if you don't want to change your life and you just want to sit at home and not change your life and just have the day be like any other day, or you can take those steps towards a positive and an interesting, hopefully positive, experience that maybe you've never had before. Have you ever called in live and ordered something on QVC, maybe on the TV, or called into a radio show? If not, this would be the first time. This is a great place to practice, because I personally promise you that there's probably only like 2 people watching. Excuse me, except the people watching here. This gentleman who has no boundaries and no shame. He heard me. I don't care. It's safe. It's a safe place. Sedona is a safe place for us gentle souls, sensitive people, sensitive spirits to call. It's okay if you're gluten-free, vegan, or you only eat fish on certain days, or you're lactose intolerant. I will totally take your call. Oh, excuse me. I have to get this. Let me put you on. Hello, this is Tharp World. It's Allison. Who's calling? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, hello. Who's calling? This is Tharp World.
This is psychic.
This is the psychic. Yes. Who is this?
Mary.
Mary's calling. Mary's calling. Are you watching the show right now, Mary?
No.
You're not watching. How did you find the number?
Online.
Oh, excellent. So, okay, so yes, I am a psychic, and you are live on a internet TV show called Tharp World. And right now, I'm currently painting. I paint live on the show, and I give a psychic reading to anyone who collaborates with me on the painting. That's how the show works. So if you tell me the very first thing that comes to your mind, I will paint it into the painting I'm working on, and then I will give you a psychic reading. That's how it works. So what's the first thing that comes to mind? Just anything.
I thought
Blue eyes. Blue eyes. Perfect. That is just perfect. Because I was actually drawing two sets of eyes just now. It's very weird that has happened before actually with my colors. I don't know. It's like a coincidence. It's very strange. But I'm going to go ahead and keep working on those eyes and create two other eye shapes here, which is perfect. So this whole painting that I work on is a collaboration of all my viewers calling and just kind of giving me ideas. So it's really random. And if you wanted to see the episode, it'll be up on YouTube probably in a few days. And the show is called Tharp World. It's so funny though. I love when anyone calls, because even the people not watching the show can give me like the best ideas, because it's even more random. So I'm drawing like eyelashes on these eyes. What are the eyes angry? Are they happy? Are they sad? What are the eyes like?
More ethereal.
More. Oh my gosh, this is so good. It's like you're watching the show but not watching the show. This is totally the theme of the painting. So they're ethereal. They're like looking off into the distance and dreaming of something.
Yeah.
Perfect. See, it's almost like we're having a psychic connection right now. Because I wish you could see the painting. I mean, it's exactly like what I'm doing, which is so weird and cool. I mean, I'm not surprised because I'm psychic, you know, but I am a little bit. Okay, these are really, and so the eyelashes are really, there's like big, like thick eyelashes, almost like they're fake, but they're blowing in, but they're not fake. They're not fake at all. They're like blowing in the wind. It's the theme right now. I'm standing in the desert. And there's a desert behind me, and people are walking around, and it's like gorgeous mountain, you know, scene, and there's some wind, and so these eyes are just, the eyelashes are like, you know, leaves on a tree. It's beautiful, and I just love it. That was a beautiful collaboration. It's perfect. So now I'm going to give you a reading. Are you ready for your psychic reading?
Sure.
Do you have a question in mind or a situation? You don't have to tell me what it is. Just have one that's as specific as possible, because then you'll get the best reading. So try to make it clear in your head, and then whatever cards come out will pertain to your situation or your question. And you don't have to tell me what the question is. I usually just draw the cards, and I'll just give you the clarity that you're looking for. And then the readings are 1 minute long, so I'm going to talk fast and I'm going to be really concise. Okay? Okay, get your question ready. I'm going to shuffle the cards. Great callers, great callers. I love that someone like addressed me as the psychic. It's beautiful. I love that I'm getting a heavy reputation on the internet. That makes me feel really good. Okay, see, I can shuffle them. Don't judge me by my shuffling. Okay, I have been reading the tarot cards since I was 14 years old. My first readings were on myself, and all my questions were about boys and school and stuff like that. And so now my questions have evolved. Now they're about rent and money and my taxes and my QuickBooks and all kinds of stuff. Isn't that weird? to be doing something for such a long time. It's just kind of cool. It's one of the only things I've been doing that long, except for art. So psychic stuff and art. So shuffling the cards for Mary for her question. I'm putting it in my mind and in my heart so I can give her a good, clear reading. Okay, I'm going to cut the cards a few times. From Jason's reading last time, we want to make sure that they're shuffled well. Okay, they're ready, and I'm going to go ahead and draw the 3 cards, and when I do, the timer will start. We have to be on time in this show. I met with the first couple times we did readings, oh man, I could just talk for a half hour. And they're like, hey people, we need to do art too. Okay, I got your 3 cards. These are your 3 cards, and I'm going to turn them over, and then we'll start the timer in just a second. Oh, this is amazing. Okay, Mary, you ready? Okay, so start the timer. I see a major disappointment in relationships right now. I see a super disappointment, maybe even a betrayal. It's really, really hurtful. I see like ache in the heart. I see the Wheel of Fortune. That was the 5 of Cups. I see the Wheel of Fortune. It's a total turning point in your life, complete new chapter. It will not be the same as it was. Something is totally going to change for you. Almost like you're shifting, you're turning a direction, and it's actually really good. The Page of Discs is the next card, which is a really fresh, like new. The page cards are very like, it's like a young energy. There's like, it's a disc card, so that means that it has to do with material things. So it could be a new job, or it could be like a new endeavor, a new investment of some kind. But I see like a lot of good, fresh, like energy, almost like little sprouts coming up out of the ground if you've planted a garden. Like your efforts are going to be rewarded, and the work that you've done is going to really flower and produce good results for you. But there's going to be a total change, and it actually was brought about by disappointment, but it's going to be really beneficial for you. So I hope that is helpful. I hope that was helpful, but my timer's going off and I have to go. My producer's calling me. Okay, good luck to you. I hope that worked for you. Oh my gosh. Ooh, it is hot out here. Oh my god, they don't let me go for over it. You can see me trying to give them more, and they just won't let me. That's just the way the show works. They just won't let me go that far with the readings. But that was a good one, man. There's some hope there. There's some hope. Man, I got that Wheel of Fortune card recently, and if you get that card in a spread, your life is going to change. Your life is going to change, and it's usually for the better. It never feels like that, but it always changes for the better. We can't see the future, you know. We can see the cards, but we just can't tell what's going to happen. Even as psychics, we're sometimes wrong. Not usually, but sometimes. Excuse me, I'm dehydrated. It is just like, oh my god, it's hot out here. It is hot. It is hot, but man, 2 callers in one show, that's like awesome. That is awesome. Somebody like heard my thoughts. Oh my god, we have a minute left. Okay, 1 minute left. 1 minute left to change your life. You have one of these at home. It may not be this model. This is kind of an old one. Pick it up and call. Pick it up and call. You got 1 minute to help me out with this. Well, 1 more minute to get your psychic reading. If you don't call, it's okay. I'm just going to keep painting. I'm just going to keep looking at this gorgeous scenery, being overheated. This is crazy. This piece of work that we've done has been a collaboration, if you're just tuning in, very, very late, between some callers, Jason and Mary, and the energies of the vortex centers of Sedona, Arizona, which is a great place to visit, a great place to hang out, get a psychic reading there, enjoy yourself, spend some time with the vortex energies, and you will see, like, it will make you feel really weird, like I do right now. It'll make you feel like, whoa, man, like, what did I take? But it's not. It's just like good, clean fun. Just good, clean fun from the earth. You are just going to be high from earth energy and from spiritual, angelic energy. So, gosh, I love it here, but I have to go. It's been so much fun. This is going to be the end of Tharp World. For the next couple of weeks, we're taking a spring break and letting the energies settle. So we'll be back sometime in June. I will definitely let you guys know. Stay tuned for future episodes, and thank you so much for watching. It's filmed live at the Compound Gallery, and you can see my work at AlisonTharp.com. Thanks, and have a good night.